Now, I recently had a very sad and disheartening experience. You see, I was at Denny's, and I love Denny's, everything from the food to the environment. And every time I go there, I look forward to getting the $4 value slam, which for $4 allows you to get 2 pancakes, 2 slices of bacon, and 2 eggs. Now that is an incredible deal. But to my dismay, when I arrived, I found that the $4 value slam no longer exists, and that is now $5. And that is a price that I'm a little less willing to pay. But this is not Denny's fault. This is a result of inflation. Inflation is when over time the price of items increases while the spending power of our money decreases. And I'm Tyson Sirud, and I have a solution to this problem. If we invest 10% of our earnings into the stock market, we can not only combat the effects of inflation, but we can have a more comfortable living situation. Now, when we talk about stocks, a lot of people get scared because they think of the risk associated with stocks. But I'm gonna tell you the real risk. In the year 2022, inflation is projected to be at a rate of 2.6%, whereas the average savings account only makes 0.06% interest. Now, you don't have to be a financial expert to see that our savings accounts simply cannot keep up with the rate of inflation. Now, if we juxtapose that with my stock investments over the past 3 years, we can see that my returns have been 44.9%. And that is with me not knowing a lot about the stock market, which leads me to my next point. A lot of people think that you need to be an expert, and stocks are super complicated, but they are extremely simple. I propose that we invest this 10% of our earnings into safe, low-risk ETFs and mutual funds, and let it sit there, and over time, the rate that it will increase will be greater than that of inflation. And with applications such as Vanguard, Robinhood, E-Trade, and many more, we can buy, sell, and trade stocks from our phone. And we are fortunate enough to live in the age of YouTube and podcasts, where there are hundreds of resources that can help us know the ins and outs of the stock market. Now, when I propose that we invest 10% of our earnings, a lot of people ask me, why 10%? That seems like a little too much, or maybe it should be more. Why not 15%? Why not 98%? My reasoning is fairly simple. My first reason is that 10% is doable. Most people, if they put in the effort, they can find out a way to budget 10% of their earnings. It might not be the easiest thing, but it is definitely possible. And also 10% is extremely easy to calculate. All you have to do is take off the last digit in your earnings. For example, if I make $10, I only have to invest $1 into the stock market. Super simple. And the other reason is that 10% is just enough to make a difference. It will surprise you how much 10% of your income will be over the course of a year. And if that is enough to convince you, here are a few quick stats. Investing in the NASDAQ 100 index tracking ETF would have made you a 533% profit over the last 20 years, which wants to say if 20 years back I invested only $1 in one of these ETFs, right now I would have $533. Now that is not a bad deal. And US stock markets have always made a profit over the course of 10 years, which goes to my reasoning. This is why we should be more conservative with our investments, to only invest 10% of our money into a low-risk mutual fund or ETF. Now, here to show us an example of someone who gets a little too excited and tries to day trade and tries to figure out the market, we have Homer Simpson doing what he does best, screwing everything up.
Your life savings.
Yes, I see that it's in Belfort. Excellent. I'd like to buy 500 shares of Ocean Incorporated.
Okay. Now, before I execute this order, are you sure you understand the risks of stock ownership?
Absolutely.
We're in the money. We're in the money.
You're the monkey. Make the trade.
Turning to the stock market, Ocean is up an eighth,
Yes.
after plunging 75 points this morning.
Oh, I know plunging means up, and 75 means 200.
The firm declared super duper bankruptcy, which is terrible news for the
and we do not want to end up like Homer in this clip. So in conclusion, I propose that conservative investing has much more benefits than a traditional savings account. And that online sources make it extremely simple to start investing your money into stocks. And that you do not need a lot of money to start. You only need 10% of your annual income. Now, stop letting your money deteriorate in the bank and go invest in some stocks. Thank you.